Guys, deluded YouTube's Lucas Torreira. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Now that I've got that off my face, I can continue to concentrate. That rhymed. So yeah, I don't know where we are at this point. It's getting a bit awkward, but yeah, let's move on, people. Obviously, we saw. Well, for the last couple of years, we've seen a mass exodus of young players, and it hurts me. Of course, I'm not naive enough to believe that 8 to 11 young players are going to make it here, have the ability to make it here. But I've previously said some that have left have been good enough to have a future here at some level, whether it's a squad rotation or just damn right starter. And those who can't or haven't got the ability to play or do have a long-term future here, some could afford to have been tied down and sold for a decent profit, like you see with Chelsea's youngsters, and they can if they ever decided to sell the 55,000 youngsters they have on loan. Chelsea fans, allow me. But back to this. Donyell Malen scored his first professional goal recently. I'm a bit late to the party, but he scored his first professional goal in the Champions League qualifier, I believe, against Bate for PSV. So he's doing his thing. I know he was on the cusp of the first team. You saw him play pre-season at Arsenal before, when we went China before departing the club. He's been on the cusp of first team at PSV last year. He made a couple of appearances, but he was primarily in their B side. Van Brommel and them and they're believing him at PSV, so he is going to have a future. I have seen recently he's been called into the under-21 side. I'm not too sure how many times that's happened. With Gus Till, another young player you lot should look at, and a couple other young players in the Dutch side. If he continues to do his thing and gets in the first team at PSV, he really will get a first team appearance for Holland or Netherlands, as I should call it. And I hope that happens for him. I like him a lot. I do think he could have had a future here, whether that's up front, which he should be, or doing a job on the flanks. Obviously, Eddie Nketiah is here. He seemed to have picked him in the pecking order. We'll see long term whether that was the right choice. But it's nice to see him doing his bits and scoring his goals. Someone that's compared with was called is as good as Alexis Sanchez by Mino Rinola. You guys know I'm speaking about, the agent with the Pogba nonsense in it. So yeah, it was sad to leave. It was sad to see him leave. People at Ajax are unhappy in the manner he left. I'm definitely unhappy in how he left at Arsenal. Some people say close to the matter say he departed the club because of the whole business surrounding the bullying claims of the coaches and stuff that and things like that. I don't know how true that is. I'm not gonna say it's true or untrue because I don't know, and it could be fabricated. I'm only gonna comment on what I do know. So it's nice to see him doing bits. Obviously, Kelechi Nwakle, our young player who departed for Porto with an option of a permanent, he's been called up to the Nigeria side again, which is good for him. Narrowly missed out on a World Cup place, did his bits in a friendly against Atletico, and he's got a talented player. It looks like Porto are going to cop him long term and we're going to miss out, but he looks like a talented player. I know Wenger definitely rated him highly, so it's nice to see he's doing that. So it's nice to see them two young pros are doing their thing. Jeffrey Adley looks to be adjusting to life at at his new club, and so does João Virginia, to be fair. And a lot of people that are familiar with Everton's affairs say that there's a very good chance he could be the second choice keeper in the not too distant future. So we'll see how that one develops. But and someone that's actually at the club, Balogun, our young striker, who's compared with Eddie Nketiah. He didn't play. I wouldn't say he played too much at the under-17s championships earlier in the summer, I believe in May. But he played a lot. I do believe it's interesting that he's now switched allegiances, at least temporarily, to the equivalent of the America side, and he's actually at a youth tournament with America. I believe they recently won 5-0 against Bulgaria, and he either scored one or a couple. I can't verify that, but it's nice to. I never saw it, but it's nice to see that our man is bagging goals. And it is interesting because, I mean, you'd like to think with a lot of departures at the club and things like that, along with Amici, possibly Trey Coyle, who wants to have a better season than he did last year, a lot of the second-year scholars, there's a chance for them to step up into the under-23s. And I know Eddie Nketiah seems to be the man at the moment at under-23 level up front. There's a real chance for Balogun to say something at that level. Obviously, he'll play under-18s as well, but there's a real chance to make himself a main starter in that side, as a lot of other players have done. So it was interesting to see that he's currently away from the club and he's on loan. I mean, not on loan. He's playing for his country. I do believe he's actually born in New York, but despite being of English heritage. So he's doing his thing. When you consider that, we know at first team level we've got a new manager, but they've also got a new manager in Freddie Ljungberg. He knows a lot of the players, but you would have thought you'd want to be a part of his thoughts and immediate plans. Not saying he doesn't, but yeah. And it's nice to, either way, it is nice to see that he's like you saw. What's his name? What's the Chelsea lad that used to do this? What's the one that went on loan to Hull, man? it's here, people. The centre half, I forgot his name. It begins with a T in it. I can't remember it. But he's one of them that's always Tomori. That's it. I believe it's Tomori. He played for Canada at international level as well as England. So it's nice to see him utilising that. At the end of the day, it's a different youth tournament. When you look back at your career and things like that, you played in all of these things. It's an opportunity. At least at this level, you can see what you can say. Plus, I don't know his thoughts. Maybe he's got ambitions to play for America. Maybe America's representatives have sat down and said, listen, you're someone we're earmarking long term. Switch your allegiances. Maybe he wants to play for America, despite playing for England a lot of times. I don't know. But it's nice to see that, like I just said with Tomori, that you're utilising this. Do I necessarily agree with you can wake up one day and, like you see with a lot of young players, 1 minute they're playing for Wales, then they're playing for Ireland, then they're playing for England. Do I agree with it necessarily? No, but in terms of tournament experience and things like that, you're within your rights to do them sort of things, in my opinion. So it's nice to see ultimately that he's scoring goals, and I hope he comes back quickly and stakes a claim in the side. There's nothing more to say on that front, man. So guys, I'm going to get out your hair. Guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. I'm out.